Why is it that some people work twice as hard as everyone around them and still stay stuck? Why is it that you can read every book, set every goal, build every habit, and still feel like you are pushing against a wall that never moves? Why is it that success seems to come effortlessly to some people, while for others, every step forward feels like a fight? Is it luck? Is it connections? Is it that they know something you do not? The answer is yes. They do know something, but it is not a strategy. It is not a morning routine. It is not a network or a privilege or a secret only a few people have access to. It is the programming running beneath the surface of their mind. Neuroscientists have confirmed that 95% of your daily thoughts, decisions, and behaviors are not controlled by your conscious mind. They are controlled by a deeper layer, one that was programmed before you were old enough to choose what went in. A layer that quietly decides what you believe you deserve, what feels safe to pursue, and what feels, no matter how much you want it, like it was never really meant for someone like you. That layer is your subconscious mind. And until you understand how it works and how to reprogram it, you will keep working hard and wondering why the results never match the effort. This series is going to change that. But before we get to the reprogramming, you need to understand the system you are working with, because you cannot rewrite code you have never seen. So let's start there. Let's start with what the subconscious mind actually is, because most people have a vague, almost mystical idea of it that makes it harder to work with. Think of your mind as an iceberg. The conscious mind is the tip above the water, the part you identify with, the part that thinks, reasons, plans, and makes deliberate choices. It is articulate. It is logical. It is the voice in your head right now processing these words. But the conscious mind is a tiny fraction of your total mental activity. Below the waterline, vast, silent, and enormously powerful, is the subconscious. The subconscious does not think in words the way your conscious mind does. It thinks in patterns, in feelings, in deeply held beliefs about what is normal, what is possible, and what you deserve. It stores every experience you have ever had, every lesson you were taught about money, success, love, and your own worth, every moment of praise and every moment of shame, every time someone told you what you were, and every time you believed them. All of it is in there, running quietly, shaping everything. Here is the analogy that makes this click for most people. Your subconscious mind is the operating system of a computer. Your conscious mind is the software running on top of it. You can install the most sophisticated software in the world, the best productivity apps, the most ambitious goals, the most disciplined morning routine. But if the operating system beneath it is running old, corrupted code, the software will crash. Every time. This is why people read every self-help book ever written and still do not change. They are updating the software, but the operating system remains untouched. This is why people attend motivational seminars and feel unstoppable for 3 days, and then return to exactly who they were before. Temporary emotion cannot overwrite a permanent program. The only way to create lasting change is to go beneath the software, to reach the operating system itself, and rewrite the code. So how did your subconscious get its current programming? The answer starts before you can remember. From birth until approximately the age of 7, the human brain operates predominantly in slow brainwave frequencies, theta and delta. These are the same frequencies that adults enter during deep meditation and hypnosis. What this means is that young children are essentially in a prolonged hypnotic state. Their critical, analytical mind, the part that evaluates and filters information, is not yet fully developed. So everything goes in. The things your parents said about money, whether it was something to be earned with suffering or something that flowed easily, whether wealthy people were admired or resented, the things your environment taught you about your potential, whether you were the kind of person who succeeded or the kind who struggled, the emotional atmosphere of your home, whether the world felt abundant or scarce, safe or threatening. It was simply absorbed and stored as truth. And those truths became the lens through which you see every opportunity, every obstacle, and every version of your possible future. This is not your fault. You were a child. You had no choice but to absorb the world around you. But it is now your responsibility, because that programming is still running. Right now, today. And it will keep running until you deliberately change it. Now here is where it gets fascinating, and where most reprogramming attempts fail. As you grew up, your brain developed a critical faculty, a kind of mental gatekeeper that sits between your conscious experience and your subconscious programming. This gatekeeper's job is to evaluate incoming information and decide whether to accept it or reject it based on what already exists in the subconscious. In other words, it protects the existing program. This is why simply repeating positive affirmations rarely works for most people. You stand in front of the mirror and say, "I am wealthy, I am successful, I am abundant." And the gatekeeper immediately fires back, "No, you are not. Look at your bank account. Look at your history. Look at who you actually are." The new belief gets rejected before it can reach the subconscious. The old program stays intact. This is not a personal failure. It is a feature of how the mind protects its existing model of reality. The gatekeeper is doing exactly what it was designed to do, to install new beliefs without triggering the automatic rejection response. We will cover those windows and techniques in detail throughout this series. But the most important one, the one that is available to you every single day, is the subject of video 4, the 20 minutes after you wake up. Let's come back to that number for a moment. 95%. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cell biologist and one of the leading researchers on subconscious programming, puts it this way. The conscious mind processes roughly 40 bits of information per second. The subconscious mind processes approximately 40 million bits per second. 40 versus 40 million. Your conscious mind, with all its goals, affirmations, and intentions, is competing against a force that is 1 million times more powerful. Not because you are weak, not because you lack discipline, but because you have been trying to create a $1 million outcome with a 40-bit processor. The moment you understand this, truly understand it, everything changes. The goal is no longer to try harder with your conscious mind. The goal is to get your subconscious mind on the same side as your ambitions. To make wealth, success, and abundance feel not like something you are reaching for, but like something you simply are. The subconscious mind does not communicate in logic and language the way your conscious mind does. It communicates in feelings, in images, in the physical sensations of your body. When you think about charging a premium price for your work and your stomach tightens, that is your subconscious speaking. When you think about a large financial goal and a quiet voice immediately whispers that it is not for someone like you, that is your subconscious speaking. When success feels dangerous or uncomfortable or somehow wrong, that is your subconscious speaking. And here is the critical insight. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This is not a metaphor. This is neuroscience. Brain imaging studies show that the same neural pathways fire, whether you are physically performing an action or vividly visualizing it. Which means the subconscious can be fed new experiences, new evidence for a new identity, through the deliberate use of imagination, emotion, and repetition. This is the entire basis of subconscious reprogramming, and it is far more precise and powerful than most people ever realize. Here is the final piece of the foundation you need to understand. Your subconscious mind does not just respond to your internal world. It actively creates your external world, not through magic, through behavior. Your subconscious beliefs determine what you notice and what you ignore. They determine how you interpret events, whether you see opportunity or threat, possibility or risk. They determine the decisions you make automatically, the words that come out of your mouth, the energy you bring into a room, the opportunities you pursue, and the ones you unconsciously avoid. And all of those things shape the results you produce in the world, which then feed back into your subconscious as evidence, confirming the belief that created the behavior in the first place. This is the loop. Belief creates behavior. Behavior creates results. Results confirm belief. If the belief at the center of that loop is scarcity, the loop produces scarcity. If the belief at the center is abundance, the loop produces abundance. The loop always works. The only question is whether it is working for you or against you. And the only way to change the loop is to change the belief at its center, which means going to the subconscious, which means everything we are going to cover in this series. So let's recap what you now understand, what most people never take the time to truly learn. Your subconscious mind is running 95% of your life. It was programmed in childhood before your critical mind could filter what went in. It is protected by a gatekeeper that rejects beliefs inconsistent with its existing program. It communicates through feelings, images, and physical sensation, not logic. It cannot distinguish between real experience and vividly imagined experience. And it is actively creating your external reality through the loop of belief, behavior, and result. This is the foundation. Everything else in this series builds on what you now know. In video 2, we go deeper into the scarcity blueprint, the specific programming that keeps most people financially stuck, and exactly how to identify your own limiting script. If this opens something for you today, subscribe and share it with someone who's been working hard and wondering why the results are not matching the effort. The answer is always in the operating system. I will see you in the next one.